Hi there YouTube, XtremeTrainz here. So this is the video that people have been waiting for. It's the one which I spent many hours driving back and around to all the different stores to try and collect all the bits and pieces to make this video. Maybe you've guessed it by now. It is the review of the Series 22 or Wave 2 for 2020 of Thomas & Friends Minis. What are we waiting for? This one's a big one. Let's get to it. Alright, so this wave of minis looks substantially different to the old one, so we're going to have a look at the packaging. The first thing that's changed, as you can see here, is that they just a totally different packaging for the Thomas minis. Firstly, it's Series 22, which I actually was like, surely that can't be right. And I don't really know where, I'm like, Series 22, is that what they mean? But then I did the maths and realized these minis have been out since 2015. We've had 4 waves every year up until this year. So that's, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. That is 20 waves. So this is actually the 22nd wave of Thomas Minis. And I was shocked when I realized that. But it is. This new branding is consistent with the branding they've got for the new motorized and the push along, and to some extent Thomas Wood as well. So I understand why they've changed it. And you can see that's what it looks like on the back. That is what that looks like. And then if you wonder what the brochure looks like, it's also consistent. If you check this link out, the checklist, it actually takes you to the Wave, well, Series 21, the Wave 1 2020 checklist. It doesn't give you this new checklist. So rest in pieces, Mattel, you should fix that up. This is what the checklist looks like. Nice and clear. Again, interesting that they've just done 2 waves where you get all of the ones in this wave, you get them all in this wave. So there's no splitting across waves. These are all in the Series 22, which is nice, but it just means it's very expensive to go and collect them. So what are you waiting for? This is not the exciting part. That guy is. Alright, so as you can see when they're all out, there is a lot of minis to look at in this series. So we're going to zoom in so we can see them a little bit more clearly. So the first one we want to look at is the one you've seen in a couple of my videos already, and that is the Diamond Anniversary Thomas. This is obviously quite similar in theme to the one that was released as a push-along, but I personally think this one looks way nicer. I think the metallic is it just pops. I love that logo there. I love the glitter wheels and the glitter that's just throughout, that shiny paint, very metallic flecks in there. I just think this looks awesome. This is a good one. If you want to get multiples, you want to get multiples of this one, but he's a bit of a hard one to track down. So yeah, I really like this one. This is a winner to me, and I think this is nicer than the push-along version of the same thing. The next thing we've got is kind of the Celebrate theme, which I think has been done far better than the original 70th anniversary theme that we saw in Wave 1 of this year's minis. So the first one here is the Gold Thomas, which again, I think it's nice to see the callbacks to this time the Trackmaster Thomas. And again, you've got Thomas in that gold color. It's unfortunate that although it's kind of a shiny gold, it's not a metallic gold. So that is what it is. If you don't like that, you're not going to like this model. Otherwise, I think all the detailing on it is quite good. It looks party, and again, I do like the kind of connection between the different ranges. So I think that is cool, and I like that. The next one in this party range is, the Party Anniversary Celebration James. Again, there's just the same old James, but we've got a nice bow wrapping on him. Again, I think this one is a bit more subtle than some of the others, but I still think it's nice. It's nice and classy, which is good. The next one we get is Emily from this theme, and she's kind of like disco, which I think is interesting. Looks like, I guess they're meant to be disco lights, but they kind of look like beads or something, but that's fine. And again, the stars, and you can see here that she's actually, she's got her number 12, which she got in this most recent Series 24. So again, another nice one that fits well in the theme. The next one here is the Party Percy, and what's interesting, and this is why I forgot to point out with these other engines, and because it's most notable on Percy, you can see here his plastic is actually like kind of got these flakes of metallic in them, and that's what all of these engines from this series have, these kind of flakes of metallic in them. And you can see on James, again, flakes of metallic. It's not as noticeable on Emily and James, but on Percy for sure, you can really see, especially between the prints, There's shiny plastic, and it's different to the normal green, which is just what his wheels are. So that's a nice touch, which you don't notice on the first glance. I think the rest of his details are very nice. Nia is the same. She's got kind of, you can see the kind of swirly plastic they've used here. Again, Nia's kind of a cake. I don't know how well the white printing worked on her, just because it's like a little bit see-through because she's a bright orange engine, but I appreciate again what they were going for. I really do like the Nia Mini. I think the detail on it is excellent. So, you know, it's cool to see her as a cake. And then the last one we get is Gordon. I think he really shines in terms of, you know, having that, you can see again, the sparkly plastic. The blue looks very royal, very rich. And you can see again, he is covered in balloons and he is ready to be really useful. So I really do like this party theme. I think it's a really, really nice one. The next one we've got is, again, we've got another space galaxy kind of theme. I say these interchangeably because I literally cannot remember what each one is called all the time. So the first one here, you can see it's like a Space Charlie. Again, interesting use of the clear, that he's clear all the way through, and then they just paint on these details. Why there are cows on this planet, I really don't know. Like, that is really weird to me. Like, the aliens and the cows are like friends. It's so strange. But anyway, that is what it is. Again, some of these minis are weird. This one is a really weird one, so, you know, mileage may vary on whether or not you like that. But yeah, that is what Charlie looks like from this theme. The next one we get is, I believe it's Sydney. It's Space Sydney. And again, you can see they've, again, used the clear plastic all the way through, and then they've painted it over the top to get this little relief. I quite like the pattern on this one. You can see there's the little 75th logo, Thomas, there, which is what the astronaut has got, and there's a little planet Earth on there as well, which I think is nice, and then the solar panel detail. And again, I like the little mic he's been given. I think that is pretty cool. The next one we get is a Galaxy Percy, or Space Percy, and this one's really interesting because they've totally inverted the colors, which, as you would know, I'm not always a fan of. Again, I think it's just a bit weird that, like, Charlie is purple, so surely they could have swapped this around, it would have made more sense. But anyway, again, I'm a sucker for the glitter plastic, so love the glitter wheels, love the glitter body, and you can see there's Jupiter and Saturn there on this Percy, so I think he's nice, just an interesting engine choice. And then we've seen this style of engine before, like Spencer has been done like this, Gordon has been done like this. Now it's Shane's turn, which again I think makes sense for the shape of engine that he is. I quite like the details on this one as well. Again, you can see the Minis logo with that little Thomas on there is pretty cool. I do like that, and again I like the little mouth. So it's kind of interesting. You get kind of two almost spaceship engines, so this is a bit of both. Then you get two which are just kind of like planets in space. So yep, interesting. Not my super favorite, but I do always like a transparent plastic. The next one, which is another one people were really excited for, is the new look theme. And I know this is going to disappoint some people, but let's have a talk about it. This is the new look Thomas. So you can see here, this is the Thomas from The Adventure Begins in his original green livery. And you turn it around. So this is one of the reasons why people were quite disappointed in this, because the original photos we got were just like this. And then we saw the other side, and you can see what they're obviously doing is painting Thomas blue. I understand why this kind of might disappoint people, but personally, I actually think it's quite cool. It kind of shows a bit of evolution. You know, it's not like, I haven't really seen any serious series, like story series with minis, just because they're too silly, too weird. So I just don't think, you know, it's not like someone's going, I really want a green mini because I want to, you know, be able to tell the story of The Adventure Begins with minis. Like, it doesn't really seem like something that's very realistic. There's a thing that people would do. So I actually think that's okay that we get this. I think it's neat, and I think it's a really nice idea for a series. So I would really love them to continue this series on. I think that would be really cool. The next one we get in this series is Victor. And again, it's cool to see him in that his original yellow and green livery. Nice. Again, interesting change. It's not as saturated red. He's got like a pink. His running board is a pink color, not a red color. I just want to point that out. It's not the camera. It is actually a pink color with the green wheels. And then again, you come around to the other side and you can see that they're starting to paint him red into his colors that he has currently. Emily, I think, is an interesting one. I think she's probably the one that makes the least sense in this series, just because the only thing that's changed with Emily is the number. And you can see that on the other side, they're putting the number on. I just think the reason I don't like this one is because we really should get an Emily, you know, with the number as just the normal one. So Emily, I think, is the only one really where I would want to have one that doesn't have the paintbrush on there. So I think it could have been a better opportunity just to release Emily as a classics kind of engine. And then maybe have Rosie or something, I think would have been a better option for this one. The last one but not least in this series, or theme, I should say, is James, original James. You can see, yep, again, as you would expect. And you can see he's got his pink undercoat going on. I think that's cool. That's a nice nod to those episodes where we've seen him with the pink undercoat. So yes, I really do like this look, this new look series, even though it's got these paint details on it. All right, the next theme is another animal theme, which we've had done a bunch of times. You can see here, so this is Duck as a hedgehog, I think he's supposed to be. These ones are weird. I've never really liked the animal themes that much. Whoops. This one's no exception. I kind of like what they did with his face. But to me, this is just really weird. You know, kind of take it or leave it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. There is... Yongbao as like is it a Chinese fox or something? I know the animal, but and again they put a lot of detail into his face, or the animal's face, I should say. But again, just a bit weird, a little bit too weird for me. I'm not a big fan of that one. We have Whale Harold. Like again, it kind of makes sense for him to be the whale because of his shape, but also it doesn't. He has wheels and a propeller. So yep, that's weird. Don't know what to say about that. And then the last one is Hero as like a snow leopard. Again, it's so weird. Their faces, like it's like an animal face, but it's an engine. Yeah, so I don't have a lot to say about them except that they're weird. And we've got another animal themed theme in this series as well. It's called Aquarium. You can see here, love that production quality. You can see right there that Diesel's face is just coming right off. So this is. I think he's meant to be, he's like a seal. Yeah, you can see that's very loose. Not good. He's a seal. I like, again, the use of the transparent stuff. But again, it's just like we've already had an animal series in this series. Why did we get another animal series? I don't really understand why. So that's a bit weird. Or is he a walrus, maybe? I don't even know. I think he's a walrus. You've got Steven here. Nice to see Steven, you know, getting a model. But he's like a diver or something, like a treasure diver. Again, really weird. Don't understand. Again, like, yeah, no. No comment. There's Gator, who's like a kind of a turtle, but he again, and these ones are weird when it's like he's like kind of a turtle, but he's not a turtle. He's in the ocean. What? And then we get Edward. I quite like the colors on Edward actually. It's kind of cool, but again, he's clear, but he's meant to be a diver. Like, are you a diver? You're not a diver. What are you? What are you? Yeah. So that's weird, but that's fine. Weird is fine. The next series is we've got another spooky series. This one's cool though because it's quite consistent in the theme. So we've got the ghoul boxcar or spooky boxcar. This one don't look at this one late at night. No. So we've got like a spooky ghoul ghost demonic Spencer, which I think is really interesting. Again, oops, why not keep dropping these? Again, it's cool that they've cast this in the green plastic and then just painted over it. I think this one is spooky. It's weird, but it's quite eye-catching, that's for sure. Again, we get Shane again. Why they repeat the same engines in the same wave when there are so many engines to pick from, I don't know. And you can see again, he's a bit weird because you can see the details on his face still. Like you can see his nose and his mouth where they've like painted over it with the ghoul. So I can't unsee the smiling face. But anyway, you can see the same thing. So he's like orange with like a weird orange haunted house thing going on. Okay, whatever you say. And then another spooky engine, spooky ghoul Henry. Yeah. Again, if you look close enough, you'll see the smiley face, which is a bit weird. Again, this one is weird. Eye-catching, but it's weird. The next one is like fast food. Yep, you can tell they're getting desperate. So this is Burger Diesel 10, which it's a thing. It's a thing that exists. It's a thing that you can do, apparently. You can have a Burger Diesel 10. We've got like Nachos, I think he's supposed to be. Nachos Percy. Again, a thing you can do. Weird. There's Hot Dog Spencer. Again, we got another Spencer in this series. We've got Spencer like 3 times in this series. It's a bit ridiculous. Like, what is it? Is he... anyway. What? Yep, so that's weird. And then the last one we have is the kind of Taco Rosie. Yep, so again, not much to say about these ones, except that they're weird. We've got another racing theme in this season. So now we've got Racing Belle. Oh no, sorry, Racing Rosie. Whoops, my bad. Sorry, I'm getting the engines confused. But again, like 2 Roses in this series. Why? Yep, so we've got a Racing Rosie. You can see kind of what they've done there. I quite like they've used a lot of pink. It's nice on that one. We've got a Racing James. We've definitely seen something similar to this before. I think it's really weird that he's been cast in grey plastic, given that he's like painted pretty much all the way over. I don't know why they made him grey. Like, surely you just make it red or something. But nope, he's actually grey plastic that's been painted blue and red with fire. So that's a bit interesting, color choices there. We've got Racing Gordon, who we've definitely had we've had a Racing Gordon before, but this one is different. Again, different design, the fire and the green. Lots of green on this one, which I think is a bit interesting. And they've all got sunglasses for whatever reason. And then we've got a Racing Rebecca. Again, Rebecca's still so weird. No tender for Rebecca. Nope, no tender for her. So that is a Racing Rebecca. The next thing we have is an interesting one. We had icky last time, like rubbish last time. Well, now we've got recycling. So it's a recycling troublesome truck 1, or whatever, recycling troublesome truck. And you can see that the bits and pieces are kind of match the little partitions on the side, which is kind of cool. Then we've got the recycling truck 2, which is just a general waste one, and you can see all the waste in there. Again, they put quite a lot of detail into that print when they probably didn't need to, but that's okay. And again, you can see they actually did do 2 different truck faces, which is nice. So you've got the grumpy truck and the happy truck, which is a cool thing to notice. We've got recycling, I believe it's Sydney again. And again, right, like we've got 2 Sydneys in this series. Why is like one of them not Paxton? I don't understand. But whatever, this one makes more sense to be Sydney because it's the blue one. So that's fine. You can see he's like a trash compactor thing. And he's obviously blue, and those little symbols on him correspond with the color scheme and also the symbols on the truck. So that's kind of cool that we have a matching rolling stock to the engine theme. I think that's cool. And again, you see we've actually got rubbish. Oops, I'm going away everywhere. We've got a rubbish Flynn, and you can see here he's got trash can on there. We've got some cleaning things on the side. He's got like a little worker's cap on there, and again, he would couple up with this truck here. So I think it's a bit of a random one, but I kind of like the continuity between the engines and the theme. The next one I've got is vegetables. I'm pretty sure we've had something like this before. So there's Carrot Spencer. I think they did a good job on this one. Carrot, good shape for Spencer to be a carrot. Cool. Corn Cob Gator. Interesting. He's got some butter. I never really had corn with butter. Made too much mess. I also thought corn is pretty tasty. You don't really need butter with it. But, maybe you can tell me in the comments below what you think about that. Then we've got Bill and Ben. I'm glad to say they've done both of them in this series, not just one, which would be awkward, which they have done in the past. We can see we've got like Cauliflower Ben. He looks very similar to the sheep one from the previous wave, the farm one. And then we've got Broccoli Bill. Again, it is what it is. I don't know why his wheels are blue. That's an interesting choice for them to make. Very, very close to the end. Last but not least, the last theme is the 3 Little Pigs theme. So the first one we've got is the wolf, which is Diesel. And again, like, that face is so disturbing. What is that? Like, look at it. Ah! Anyway. Yeah, it's weird. And you can see, like, legs and a tail. Yeah, so that's weird. That's really weird. That reminds me of those weird memes where you see the face like crawling out. That's what that looks like. I don't like that at all. Same as this one. Like, who approved it? Like, that's the little pig with the straw house, and you can see his little feet there and the little tail. So this is really, it's really weird. So weird. And then we have the brick pig, which is of course going to be Thomas again with the weird feet, and then the little house. And a little shovel. Very weird. Very weird. So weird. And then we have the wood house. Again, there's a foot there. There's only 1 foot on this one for some reason. He's obviously lost his other legs, which is really awkward. And then the face again. Very weird. Very, very weird. So what do I think about Series 22 of Thomas & Friends Minis? I think some of them are really good. The new anniversary ones are really good. Diamond Thomas is good. The new look ones are really good. I quite enjoy the recycling ones. And there's just a lot of really weird ones in this wave too. Yes, they're unique, which is cool, but they're also really weird. So keep that in mind. In terms of whether or not it's worth picking them up, it does seem like It's a bit strange. I've had to go through quite a number of boxes to get a full set, and I actually went through some unopened boxes. They were like at the back of the shelf, hadn't been opened yet, and they were actually missing some minis. And I don't know whether that was on purpose or by accident, but it's why I missed the Racing Rebecca, was because I went through the box and I couldn't find it, and I was like, oh, I must be crazy, it's not there, and it is there. So if you are looking for these, I would suggest that you have a look at the list, which I'm going to post in the comments below. So you've got a list of all the engines, and don't be afraid, or be prepared, I should say, to go through multiple boxes of these. What I found was really interesting is that I actually ran into some parents when I was searching through our first set of boxes, and they were like, oh, you've clued on to the codes thing. Yeah, it's really hard. They're like, oh, there's no lists anymore with the codes, which is true because the Thomas Minis Collectors list is no longer being updated, which is unfortunate. So they felt my pain, but I did look like that weird person, going through the boxes and boxes and boxes of them, but that's okay. If you're paying $2 for them, I still think they're a pretty decent buy. They're pretty weird by now. They are very strange. But if you do like collecting minis, I still think it's kind of fun, even if it can be very stressful trying to collect them all like I've done. But I'd love to hear your favorite themes or favorite minis in the comments below. Please let me know. I look forward to hearing about them. Otherwise, that's all I got time for. This is XtremeTrainz. As you may have guessed, I actually forgot to talk about this mini here, which is the anniversary / party celebration Rebecca. Now, this is actually the last mini that I, again, missed 3 times when I was trying to hunt minis, and I had to go back and hunt her down. And I even forgot her in this review, so I'm sorry, Rebecca, but I've managed to catch it before I publish the video. As you can see here, Rebecca is, again, decked out in that really nice party paint theme. We like that. Again, she does have kind of a more metallic-y yellow than her normal one, although it's really not that obvious. It's not like Gordon and Percy where you can really tell. It is kind of a bit of a swirly, metallic-y kind of plastic. But otherwise, yep, just all your normal Rebecca details with the party details on there instead. Would have liked to have something maybe on her face, especially because you've got so much area around the front here. But otherwise, she's a nice engine. So there you go. Only haters will say I missed Rebecca because it means they didn't watch to the end of the video. All right, that's actually the end. That's all we've got time for. Bye!